Ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Enfield Continental GT. Cool. Alright, ladies and gents, we don't have long on this thing, so let's get into it. Here we have it, the Royal Enfield Continental GT. I'm actually writing this because I got a comment under one of my videos asking if I could have a look into a Royal Enfield, and I didn't even realise that restricted licence riders could ride them, so I didn't even look into it, but here we are. So the Continental GT is the cafe racer style Royal Enfield. As the name suggests, it's a 535cc. It's a single cylinder, air cooled, but fuel injected. Now they don't make impressive power figures, but as this bloke's pointed out to me straight away, it's all about the torque with these bikes. You know, you don't ride them and rev them. Thing's only got a 5,000 RPM red line. It's not about revs with these things, just short shift them and enjoy the torque. And he's right, it just pulls from like 2,000 RPM, no worries. There's definitely a bit of vibration from this single cylinder. I can feel it through the bars and the pegs, but you know, it's all part of the character, right? It's all about first riding impressions. Yeah, good. It's got a narrow rear tyre on it, so it swaps side to side pretty nice. Ride's pretty firm. You definitely feel the bumps and the potholes in the road, but it's not jarring. So if you've not seen one of my videos before, I'm a new rider. I've been riding about 12 months and I've done a series of beginner bike reviews. So if you're looking for your first machine, you can check out my playlist, which I'll link here, and see what I think of some other restricted license bikes. Royal Enfield's a pretty interesting company. They've been around for over 100 years. They used to build bloody tanks and cannons and stuff like that. Used to be a British company. They sent all their operations to India in the 40s and 50s. And then after the war, India bought the rights to the name so that they could continue to manufacture the bikes. So yeah, these days Royal Enfield manufactures these cool retro styled bikes. Yeah, it's a really interesting combination of performance, this thing, because you got this really chilled out engine that likes to lug along and doesn't really like to rev, which kind of suits a cruising style. But then the chassis is lightweight, nimble. You got this narrow tyre and it wants to lean over. It feels like a really fun bike for riding in the twisties and stuff. So you kind of get a bit of both benefits from this thing. In terms of build quality and stuff, everything feels really solid. It's got Brembo brakes and the lever feels responsive and you get good stopping power straight away. The rear brake definitely does its job. Let's do another little test of this torque. So this is first, second, third. So third gear, 2,500 RPM. Turn the throttle. Look at that, just beautiful pickup. Pulls cleanly and smoothly. Yeah, I like the engine character. It's just made for cruising, you know. You don't have to be shifting all the time. I reckon second or third gear most of the time, and you'd be good as gold. I think we're going to do a little switch here, so good opportunity to have a bit of a look at the bikes. Well, I've heard Jay Leno say, when I was a kid, you know, you could see through motorbikes. You know, nowadays there's fairings and water pumps and all that sort of stuff, you know, whereas this, you know, you've just got just the basics, yeah. So it's, 100 on the front, 18 inch. What size is the rear tyre? It's a 130 rear tyre, yeah. Yeah, cool.
They're all different too. Like you ride this one and then you ride something else.
Yeah.
It's totally different again.
Yep.
Like the classic look.
Yeah.
It's more upright. And it's
Yeah. The classic looks more like a Bonneville sort of thing,
yeah.
but.
And it's a really comfy position as well.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised, like, because I'm quite tall. This is quite a comfy seating position, actually.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what you're on.
I was going to ask you, actually, do you know what they weigh? How much?
About 180.
180. That must be, like, fully fueled and everything as well, because, yeah, cool. And did you say this that's a performance muffler, is it?
Muffler.
So I'll notice a bit more noise on this one as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you change the air filter as well in behind here. And it really makes a difference.
Yep.
Performance-wise.
Opens it up a bit, yeah. Yeah, cool.
You get the, if you don't like these, you see the other bikes with the clip-on.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I like those.
exhaust pipe and
Yeah.
I mean, just specialise it, do what you want to do. There's,
Yeah.
That it's individual to you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's half the fun with these, isn't it? Like, yeah, making it your own and.
Yeah, because you'll never see another one the same.
Yeah.
You've seen we put stripes on them too. The checkered flags. Have you seen that?
Yep.
Pictures of it.
Yep.
They're pretty good. You can put any sort of style you like. But
I think I like the red more than the black as well, but they're both.
the green's alright too.
Yeah, I saw a green one.
And the yellow too. The yellow one.
They do them in a yellow, do they? Keep going. All right. All right. Same bike. Performance muffler. All right. Let's boogie. Well, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but I'm getting some nice little pops and crackles on the overrun here. The performance muffler definitely adds a bit of character to the bike. Another little brake test here. I'll just give the lever a fairly firm squeeze. Pulls up beautifully. I like this corner. You can actually test the handling out a little bit on this one. Oh yeah, you get those nice little pops and crackles. So I don't know if you could hear when we were stopped there, the fella was telling me a few different details about the bike. You got a whole bunch of colour options. You can get a flat scrambler style seat for it, and then you can just put a cowl over the scrambler style seat so that you can revert it easily back to that cafe racer look with a couple of bolts. I love this. So you're doing a slow U-turn, it's lugging it under 2000 RPM, it's fine. And then you just pull out, accelerate, use that torque, and away you go. Alrighty, let's do a quick summary of first impression. Like I said, the engine is all about just using that wave of torque. It's a very chilled out sort of motor, but good usable torque, definitely. Gearbox is nice, clutch pull's nice and light. The lever itself feels nice and crisp. You do get a bit of vibration through the bars and the pegs, but I guess that's to be expected from a single cylinder, especially in a lightweight bike. Ride quality is good. I'll check the name of the suspension, but you've got this Italian branded suspension with the remote reservoirs, so it's got nice damping. And like I said, the ride quality is a bit on the firm side, so. But again, I think that suits the bike beautifully. It's a cafe racer. It's supposed to have sporty credentials, so I don't mind a bit of firm suspension. I think that's good. The other thing I think these bikes have got going for them is the price as well. So I think the Continental GT is kind of like the flagship, top of the line one, and you can get on the road for under 10 grand Australian in one of these. And like if you compare that to like a Bonneville or something, you're going to get more performance from a Bonneville, but you're going to pay for it as well. A Bonneville is almost twice the price. So if you're looking for something a bit unique, something to get around the city with a bit of style, but when I say that, get around the city, that's not a diss to its handling credentials either. I mean, we've only been riding around the city, but like I was saying, it feels nimble, feels light, it's got good quality suspension. I can read it here on the other bike. Paioli is the Italian brand I was trying to think of before. So yeah, I don't know if you're going to be going on any high-speed salt flat runs on this thing, but it's absolutely a bike that I reckon you could take to a windy road and have fun on. Absolutely. So there you have it, folks. My first run on a cafe racer. Hope you found the first impressions useful. I love the muffler. Yeah, every now and then you'll like close the throttle and get this nice little overrun and go blah, 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 you know. I'm really impressed with the brakes as well.
Yeah.
Pulls up really well.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Good suspension and good brakes.
Yeah, very impressive.